Detectives, the show where we try to match our guests to their correct astrological birth chart. As always, we have two charts to choose from, and today our guest is either an Aries or a Virgo. I'm Scott, a skeptic of astrology, and I'm joined by my co-host and professional astrologer, Sarah Hartshorn. Sarah, I know about Aries and Virgos and their differences, but you want to refresh us a little bit about maybe two of the big energies, well, I guess one big energy and one more calculated energy that we might see today in our guest?
Yeah. Well, Aries is a fire sign. It is the first sign of the zodiac, and um, it is very much about immediacy, taking risks, having a lot of courage to throw caution to the wind. They move fast. They're just always in the now. They're not thinking like, how is this going to turn out? They are just about like taking the action and yeah, so they're very energetic, excited. It's a very passionate sign. Virgo, quite different. It's an earth sign. Uh, it is a lot, earth signs are a lot more practical and down to earth. Virgos are very interested in developing useful skills, focusing on details, and being precise, and they are very interested in being of service to others. And yeah, so very different energies in between those two signs.
Now, if everybody doesn't have it already, I would encourage you to look at the birth or the survey. And the survey has some Virgo and some Aries in there. Aries, because when she was a child, this person wanted to be a boss bitch, not married, no kids. And also, question number 12, if you won $500 and you had to pick one thing to do with it, what would you do? Pay bills? Now I'm thinking Virgo. You can weigh all the factors and decide for yourself, Sarah, where are they going to get this information and go deeper on the charts, deeper than the sun signs?
Yeah, so these case files charts are available on our website at AstroDetectivesPod.com. So you can go download them there and play along. Of course, we kind of redact the birth data. So if you really want to get your hands on that, so you can plug and play in your own chart system, you can sign up for our Patreon, please. And we will send you the charts via email if you sign up for our detective level subscription.
We will be very appreciative.
Yeah. Uh,
We will even thank you, like thanking Michelle for becoming a rookie detective a couple weeks ago. We appreciate that.
oh, thank you,
Enjoy
Michelle.
enjoy those case files unredacted. Plug and play with
Yeah.
whatever your system is. Maybe what are some of the wilder systems out there that people might do? Because we do whole sign and we do Placidus, but
Yeah.
what else might
Well,
people be using?
oh, Vedic is a very popular one that's like that's the kind of astrology that came out of India, and it's extremely different. It looks totally different, but it's very popular. And so um yeah, if you want to like look up someone, if you're into Vedic astrology and you want to pull charts that way, you can do that. If you want to look up someone's human design. Our guest today is interested in human design, so I thought that was really cool, as am I. So there's a lot more that you can do. You can pull if you want to, another thing you can do is you can, cast the charts in whole sign or Placidus, but you can look at the transits, you can look at their solar returns and all of the juicy things.
Mm-hmm. Transits being where everything was at the exact moment of birth will tell you if something is in that exact position again at certain times in their life, thus
Well,
matching with some sort of an activity, right? Like the position of Uranus when they were born, when Uranus is in that exact position again, they're thinking something special is happening in their life.
I think you're saying what I think you're saying. Basic, the transits are where the planets are now, and you kind of lay them on top of the birth chart, and you can see how they ping the birth chart. So if you have a natal planet, and yes, Uranus comes back around, or Uranus is going over your natal planet, that is Uranus transiting your planet.
Oh, okay. I had it different because I thought it was when certain life events happen, it's because one of your planets is back in the position of where it was
Yeah, I
when you
mean,
were born.
that's true. I mean,
Okay.
that's part of it. You
Okay.
can have a return.
A return.
Hmm.
Well, speaking of return, now we haven't even talked about the big three. What are the big three on these two charts, Sarah?
Okay, so our Aries, interestingly enough, is a Capricorn rising. So that's a lot of Earth there, ruled by Saturn in Virgo in the ninth house. And they have a Sagittarius moon. So, they have a sun and moon and fire, but then they have this Earth to kind of ground them. And then we have our Virgo chart is actually a Scorpio rising, and they have a Pisces moon. So they've got a couple, some more water in their big three. And water is very emotional and intuitive and sensitive. And then they've got their earthy sun sign. So fire versus water and earth. Fire and earth versus water and earth.
What a battle we've got for ourselves. So we'll be on the lookout for that. And speaking of returns, now I get to do the segue. We'll be right back after this commercial break with our guest who is either an Aries or a Virgo. Go get those charts, go get those case files, meet us back right here, and we're going to solve this case together. Right after this. Hey listeners, we're not just a podcast that tests astrology, we're an independent detective agency. That means we rely on you to help us keep the show running.
Exactly. By joining AstroDetectives on Patreon, you can support our mission to finally prove astrology is real.
Or, completely debunk it.
Here we go again.
One thing we can agree on, AstroDetectives is the only place you'll find astrologers and skeptics working together, like a buddy cop movie you didn't know you needed.
And trust me, detective work takes time, gathering evidence, late night stakeouts, solving cases, especially when Mercury's retrograde.
Okay, you can't blame Mercury.
The first step is easy and free. Just follow Astro Detectives on Patreon to get access to our debrief episodes where the conversation continues after each case ends. We break down what went right and what went wrong.
And if you want to fast track your training, become a rookie detective for only $3 a month. You'll unlock exclusive bonus episodes, plus early releases and the top secret case files sent straight to your inbox.
Or for just $1 a month, we'll make you an Astro intern. No compensation per se, but hey, you'll gain valuable detective experience and that warm fuzzy feeling knowing you're helping us keep the lights on.
So if you like what we're doing and want to support us, head over to patreon.com/astrodetectives and join the investigation today. Welcome back, everybody. We are now joined with our guest this week. It's Sarah. Welcome to Astro Detectives.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Now, we have two Sarahs on the show today, but we're going to try and keep this easy to understand. And we'll be asking questions of guest Sarah, and co-host Sarah will be jumping in with more questions a little bit later on. But to get us started, guest Sarah, where are you joining us from today?
I am currently back in my hometown visiting in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, all right. What is something other than the Kentucky Derby that people should know about Louisville?
Easy, bourbon.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Louisville Cardinals. I mean, basketball is like basically a religion here.
Are you a big sports fan?
I wouldn't say big, maybe a medium-sized sports fan.
Are you more of a bourbon fan?
I'm more of a sports fan than a bourbon fan.
Oh, okay. And Derby fan?
It's probably Derby sports bourbon.
Okay.
Or maybe sports Derby bourbon.
Or maybe all three of them at
Maybe,
once.
yeah.
Great. I like to kind of get started a little bit with a career. What kind of work have you done typically? And we'll see if there's any like patterns in there. But what is your kind of like biggest work experience?
Typically, what I have done historically for many years now is working in corporate. So I've worked for a health insurance company, and I've worked on like the more insurancy side of things, but then I have also spent a lot of time in more of like the tech side of things.
Okay. So if you were to tell us what a typical day in those positions, like maybe your longest running position or something, what did that entail? Like what were you doing with your day?
Wasting my time in meetings, talking about things that are never going to happen, talking about budgets that aren't even real, uh, just spending my time doing things like that.
So this is obviously why you left corporate America. It is
Hmm.
funny because like the job of working in corporate America, it is like I guess it could fit into that category, but there's so many jobs within corporate America. But you were kind of
Yes.
planning and dealing with insurance, planning to like save the company money, planning to help patients. What kind of meetings were you leading?
I started out like entry level data entry stuff, like out of college. And that was actually fun. I met a lot of like lifelong friends. We kind of had a blast doing that stuff. I mean, it was easy, mindless. We are just having a good time. But then, I went through the phase of like climbing the ladder. And so, like, I found myself like every year just kind of like striving for like the next level or the next position. And that was kind of fun for a while. And then I found myself many years later, like in an executive position. And that's when I experienced like just the grossest part of corporate you can imagine. And so I was leading people at that time. So I was responsible for a team of people, really smart, ambitious. This was like in like the tech side of the business. So really like taking care of those people, but then also operating at a different level with like, the vice presidents and all of those people that are leading their own teams. They have their own motives. And then being a part of that world was just a lot different. And that's what really got me to see the light that this is not for me.
Now, within the bounds of what you're allowed to talk about, can you maybe expand on what is it that turned you off from that window into, that level of the companies? And obviously, we don't know where you work specifically.
Exactly. And I'm not bound by anyone or anything anymore, which is
Mhm.
wonderful.
Ooh.
Really, it was just people at that level, leaders at level, executive level. Like what it boils down to is really not caring about people, not caring at all about the people that work for them. Really just focused on their bonuses and what they can do to make themselves look good, save themselves, elevate themselves, not really interested in like actually like saving money, like being innovative, doing things differently. I mean, I came from leading like an innovation type of technology team. And so when I got that promotion and I joined that first meeting, I was ready to go, I was ready to change the world. And then I just found myself like, just everything was falling on deaf ears. Like, oh, well, we can't do that. Oh, well, I mean, we can't do that. Like, that's, too expensive, or, oh, well, we don't have the people, or that's, there's always a reason. But when it came to like, um, really just not even saving the company money, but like being able to just elevate themselves, then it just, that's all that mattered. And I spent a lot of time, my whole career up until that point, really caring about the people I worked with and the people that worked for me. And then I get to, like, the top, in air quotes, and it was just a real letdown. I had ideas that, like, there were just like greedy, nefarious things going on at that level. But then just seeing it for myself and then fighting the good fight and then realizing, like, life is short, man. Like, I'm out of here.
Do you feel like it was almost like an anomaly that somebody who actually cared rose up the ranks? Do you have to be like, did it feel like you have to be just self-interested in advancement to rise up?
100%. 100%. I felt like I was on an island. I mean, I definitely was like just like the odd man out. I got to a point where it was like this energy exchange of like taking a paycheck from these people and from this company. I was like, I can't even do this anymore. Like the golden handcuffs, all of that stuff. It's like, free me from
Mm.
these handcuffs, because it just felt so gross and wrong and just like incongruent with like who I am as a person, as a human.
Do you think maybe out of your friends or maybe a society in general, would you say that you care more for people and that's maybe why it was especially frustrating?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I've said so many times, like, I wish I didn't care as much. I wish I really, like, didn't care for the people as much. I wish I didn't care about doing a good job as much, because if you can just go in and show up and, not do a whole lot, I mean, you can totally get by, but it's like, if you want to actually, like, do good for people and like enact change, like, it's practically impossible.
Well, what happened after that? You said you were formerly corporate America.
Yes, I am a survivor of corporate America. And I got to the point where I just knew, like, I gave myself some runway, like, mentally. I got to the point where it's like, I know I'm leaving. Like, I'm just leaving. That's it. And I gave myself about a year to kind of like make sure I wasn't like completely crazy. I mean, I've got to be a little bit crazy to do what I did. And then I just quit. I didn't have a backup plan. I um, I was living in California, and I did decide. I made some moves to like come home to my hometown for a little bit before I like made my next big move, and just to kind of like ease things a little bit. And I rented a little house with a pool, and I moved into that house, worked for a few more months, and then I quit right when summertime rolled around so I could just like spend the summer floating along. So I just let myself recover for a while. I just got to know myself a little bit better. Like, that had been happening over the past, I don't know, many years, where I just started to just get to know myself. And so I spent like that summer, I mean, probably honestly, like the next year or so, just sort of doing more of that. Like, what am I into? I was already into human design. So I've been doing that for about 6 years now. And so I knew, like, I eventually would like start a business where I would do human design readings and that sort of thing. And then I also knew I was going to relocate and move somewhere else. So I took some time off, and then I mean, I've taken, I guess it's been 2 years now since I left. Almost, actually, 4 years ago is my 2 year anniversary of my last day. So since
Or
then,
4 days ago?
4 days ago, sorry,
Okay.
4 days
Oh,
Yeah.
ago, May 10th, 2 years ago, was my last day.
Oh, there's some
Um,
transits to check, everybody. Anyway, go ahead.
um, And so since then, I've started my human design business where I focus on serving like spiritually curious, but also successful, ambitious corporate women. They kind of know there's like there's more out there, to sort of help them sort of navigate being themselves and being authentic in such a non-authentic environment. And then I relocated to Spain.
Oh,
oh,
wow.
you're
But
in Spain now?
I'm back home visiting because I've got a
Oh,
couple of
that's right.
graduations that are happening. But yeah, I moved to Spain like 6 weeks ago.
oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm curious, what did your circle of friends and family think about this big change?
Well, like my family, they sort of expect these things out of me. But I mean, everyone, I've gotten the impression that they think I'm a little bit crazy. Like I can't believe, like awesome, like that's so cool. Like like that's great that you did that. And also like, holy, like, I can't believe you did that. Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do for work? What do you mean? Like, what's human design? What is that? Like, are you going to get a real job? Like, all of the questions, the typical questions. But I think at this point, my friends and family just they know me well enough to know that I'm figuring it out. It'll all work out. I'm
Well, yeah,
good.
you had talked about, not immediately quitting, but giving yourself 1 year's runway. Do they kind of know, well, she's put thought into it, she's figured out something for herself. We trust that she'll land on her feet.
They had no idea. So I tend to not tell people when I'm working on all these crazy harebrained schemes until basically I've done it. And I love to surprise people. So when I decided to leave California and move back home for a little bit, I didn't tell my mom I was moving back. I didn't tell my family or my best friend because I wanted to surprise them. So I like came up with this crazy plan where I got my brother's my best friend to come over to the house I was renting, and I was like, "Hey, I'm in town for work. Like, come over. There's like this party or whatever." And so I got them to come over, and then they looked around and they like saw my stuff, and they're like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "Hey, surprise! I made back." Um, and that's just I don't know how I like to do things. And so then they're just not they're surprised, but then not totally surprised.
Yeah, I guess what I'm getting at is, do they, even if they're surprised, they know that you've put thought into it before?
Yes, they know, yes, that there's a level of trust there that I know what I'm doing.
Hmm.
And like, yeah, it might seem crazy or a little bit shocking, but they know I'm responsible. I've, taken care of myself for a long time now and done a pretty good job. So there's some trust there that they know that I'm okay.
All right. Well, let's go back in time to when
Okay.
you were a kid and you
Okay.
had hopes and dreams of what you wanted to be. You
Hmm.
listed some jobs that you were interested in as a kid, but I'm curious what comes to mind now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had it all planned out. I no kids. I was going to be a boss, own my own travel agency, and that's what I was going to do. And that's what I was going to do. And then by the time I like started college, I mean, and maybe I don't remember exactly when all of this came about. But then there was like online travel booking, and I was like, well, crap, like that's being a travel agent like isn't really gonna be it for me. So that dream kind of went like the air out of a balloon.
Do you
Um,
do you like making recommendations to people? Like if they're going on a trip to somewhere that you've been, are you the type of person to say, "Oh my God, let me make you an itinerary"?
um, yeah, I used to really love that, but now I find myself getting a little bit exhausted from like that level of detail. I used to really like to do that. Oh, you're going to this place. I would keep like notes on my phone of like all the restaurants and like all these different cities and like things to do. So then if anyone asks, I'm like, oh yeah, go to this place and that place. Um, Over the years, I'm less about like making the lists, and more about like if someone asks me, like if it was like a memorable place, I'll be able to give them recommendations like off the cuff. But I used to really like to get into the details. I've been going with the flow more lately in these more recent years.
You ranked childhood as 10 out of a 10 in happiness, and we don't see that often
I
enough.
did.
Can you
Okay.
can you
Yeah.
kind of like shed some light on what made it so awesome?
It's funny because things happened in my childhood that people would probably think like that. I wouldn't say you had a 10 out of a 10. But there was just a lot of like laughter and just silliness, like always. I mean, it was rarely serious unless things needed to be serious. Like if I don't know something bad happened at school that day, like we could talk about it, and like that would be a serious moment. But overall, we were just always having a good time. I'm the oldest of three little brothers. And so it was fun, just kind of like messing with them, bossing them around. We had a good time together. My parents got divorced when I can say like when, right? That
Yeah,
doesn't,
you
that
can say
doesn't,
when.
okay.
Hmm.
When I was 10, and it was sort of shocking because I never saw them fight. It's something they did, I guess, like when the kids weren't around. But I remember like being told that they were getting a divorce, and I don't know, it didn't totally faze me. It wasn't something that I think like put a huge damper on my childhood. It actually brought my dad and I closer before the divorce. Like he was working all the time. He owned bars and was always gone. And so, really, for the first 10 years of my life, like he would come around, like I would see him and I would feel like I would kind of like hide behind my mom or like be shy. But then once they got a divorce, and there's like, you got to spend Tuesdays and every other weekend with your dad. I mean, my dad ended up being like one of my soulmates in life. I mean, like so close. I mean, the closest person in my life was my dad. And I say was because then he passed away when I just barely turned 18. He got diagnosed with stage 4 skin cancer. Um, just before I turned 18 and was given like 6 months to live and died in less than that. So I really got like 8 really awesome years with him. And he's what made childhood just like so much fun, just like a blast, always a good time. We went on vacations to like Florida and like went to Disney World, did like regular family things. But we were always just being silly and having a good time.
And that's probably what made you love travel so much as a kid, or
Um,
want to be a travel agent.
yeah, where did that come from? Honestly, like because we never went anywhere exotic. We Yeah, as a kid, I don't know where that came from,
Oh,
honestly, because Florida was probably the most exotic place we went as a kid.
Florida can be pretty
Um,
crazy.
you're right, it can be very exotic in many ways. But we would go to like amusement parks or kind of like the thing, so we could ride roller coasters and stuff like that. But
Do you
really,
like roller coasters, or kind of like
yes,
what do you
yeah.
like about when you go to a theme park? What are your highlights that you're drawn
Oh my
to?
gosh. The best amusement park in the United States of America is Cedar Point because they've got like the tallest, craziest roller coasters. So I like just like the tallest where it's just like free fall or does something crazy. Um, yeah, it's just fun. It's just
Mm-hmm.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as
And
far as like being a travel agent, like high school, there was a flyer to go on a trip to Europe. They did an annual trip to Europe. And that was like really what locked me in. But it was before high school that I had said, like, I want to like own my own travel agency. I don't know where it came from. But then it was high school that I got to go abroad for a summer on this trip. And that's what really kind of unlocked things for me, traveling at least.
mm-hmm. What are some things like in jobs that you've had or in relationships, some areas that you feel like you're especially good at? Maybe you realize later that that's not natural for everybody, but you're like, wow, I'm actually like surprisingly better at this skill or this area than most people. And then we'll talk about maybe what you're a little worse at than the average person.
Okay. Um, I'm a good listener. I'm good at showing people their strengths, like where they might, like, I find it surprising. Like I'll tell someone like, "Oh, you're like awesome at this." Like, "Oh, you're so good at that." And they'll just like, "What? Really?" Like, "Yeah, isn't that obvious?" So I think I'm good at showing people kind of what they're good at. Um, and I feel like I have like what's maybe kind of weird. I mean, I think everyone has this if they tune into it, but I have just, I don't know, kind of like a knowing, just like a knowing about things, like certain things.
Like instinct, would you say?
Instinct and like just picking up on energy,
Gut feeling?
um, gut gut feelings, just like being able to read like the non-obvious things, just like when energy shifts in a room, or like the things that are unsaid, like someone's telling you one thing, but it's like the things that aren't being said, um, that I tend to pick up on and like just kind of know like something's off, or they're not really like saying everything.
Are you good at like noticing if someone's lying to you?
100%. Yes.
You're like the lie detector.
Yes. Yeah.
That could
Don't
be a
even play
useful
with
career
me.
right there too.
Yes.
And then on the flip side, what do you think you struggle with a little bit more?
I struggle with like small talk. I just get really awkward. Or just like, I don't know. I feel like I can get socially awkward, or like not, if I'm not in the mood to like socialize, like I don't know. I just feel like I'm just not great in like the small talk, off the cuff, just meeting a stranger and like going to town on a conversation. Like it's not really my strong suit.
And it's not that you don't want to, or
No, that's right.
you
It's not
want
that I
to.
don't want to. Like that
Yeah.
would be awesome if I could just, I don't know, strike up a conversation about nothing. But like just can't do it.
So you're invited to a party and you will know like only one or two people there. How does
Oh
that play?
God, where's the dog? Like, um, God, that's like a nightmare. Well then it's like I don't want to be clingy to those one or two people, but I'm kind of like hang out with those one or two people unless I can like spot like another maybe like socially awkward person, and then maybe I'll make a move. And but otherwise I'm looking for the dog. Like, where's the dog, man? Like, let's hang out.
Yeah, I feel like dogs act like they know everybody. And they're just like,
Yeah.
"You're amazing. You want to hang
Yeah.
out?"
And I'm like, yes, you're amazing too. Let's do it.
Do you want to just like adopt their energy at the party?
Yes.
They don't have anything to talk about. They don't even speak our language, and somehow they get by.
Yeah.
Yeah, just roll around on the floor, but then it would be awkward. People,
I know that'd take it a little too far, but that's what I would want to do.
okay. Um, Another question, and then I'm going to hand it over to Sarah for some more specifics into the details that she's looking at. But can you just talk a little bit about hobbies that you're into, when you're not? Well, what's nice about early retirement from corporate world is you kind of like get to spend more time doing everything you love. But
Hmm.
aside from something you would consider to be work, what's your fun time? How's that spent?
I love reading books. I am a sucker for trashy reality television. Um, I of course love to travel and just like explore new places. Um, I mean, I do like, I mean, learning, like it's so nerdy, but like I just always enjoy just like learning something new. A lot of like astrology type stuff, like the esoteric and um, just kind of like the more spiritual things I'm really into these days.
One more thing, like if somebody wrongs you, do you hang on to that or do you kind of like let it go, dust that off your shoulders?
I can forgive, but I will not forget.
Okay.
Yeah, and it depends on the circumstance, and the person, and like how long we've had a relationship. I can let things go, but it'll be back there, and I'll remember if something starts to happen again. Like I'm not going to forget, but I can forgive.
All right. Well, Sarah, hopefully we're not forgetting any of those answers and we'll use them when we're picking the right chart. But what else, what other information would you like to dive into? Co-host Sarah, not guest Sarah.
Well, first I want to ask you, what does your shirt say? I've been trying to read it.
Oh, it's in Spanish, but what it says in English is don't be perfect, be yourself. I failed to mention languages. I love languages.
Love that.
How does that, how do you say that in Spanish?
No seas perfecta, sé única.
Hmm.
So you speak Spanish? Do you speak other languages?
I almost majored in French, so I speak un peu de français. But I dropped French for Spanish in college and majored in Spanish. I speak a little bit of Portuguese, a little bit of Italian. But moving to Spain was really to like solidify my Spanish. Like I'm gonna be starting some language, like a full-time language school. I mean, full-time, it's 20 hours a week, but I want to be like fluent Spanish. So yeah.
Can I ask where in Spain? Because sometimes that dictates what you enjoy about, because Spain is so big
Yes.
and diverse.
Yep, it is. And it's everywhere is beautiful. I am on the southern coast of Spain, and I picked that because it reminds me of San Diego, where I lived for a few years out in California. And I love San Diego, and this part of Spain just kind of reminds me of that. And of course, it has its own beautiful Spanishness that I love.
Hmm. And you like the beach, you can handle the heat.
Yes,
Cool.
I like the beach. I can handle the heat. Yes.
Co-host
Okay.
Sarah.
Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay. So next question I have for you is uh okay. I had one on the tip of my tongue. Okay. Um, have you ever gotten into Halloween, and if so, what costumes have you dressed up as?
I love Halloween and I'm laughing at all the random costumes I've dressed up as. I have been, I think it's, gosh, is it Zombie from Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I've been a hot dog, a banana, um, Mrs.
Just
Roper from Three's Company. I don't know. I've been lots of
why
funny,
Mrs.
weird
Roper
things.
from Three's Company? What made you choose that? Because a hot dog, banana, these are like silly food items, and then you're like
Mhm.
this very particular character from an older TV show.
Um, where did it come from? I don't totally remember. I feel like it came up, like Three's Company or something came up in conversation. I remember saying like, "Oh, like when I'm older, I'm gonna like live in caftans, just like Mrs. Roper." And like Mrs. Roper, then from that moment on, just kind of like stayed in my brain. And so then I don't know. I just feel like I guess Halloween was maybe coming up, and it's like, let's do Mrs. Roper.
Do you still have a goal to live like Mrs. Roper as you get older?
Oh yes, absolutely. Caftans. Yeah,
Cat,
I'm ready for it.
what is that again?
Caftans, like a moo.
Oh,
You know, like the long,
oh,
like
okay.
the
Just
just
relaxed.
yeah, but beautiful,
Uh-huh.
luxurious, but also relaxed.
So you like to relax. Are you would people are you the type of person that would like put on a movie and fall asleep?
Yes,
So you're not like a restless person who's always moving around and has trouble sitting still.
absolutely not. That is my partner. I am the opposite. I can pretty much chill and relax anywhere.
And
Okay.
I love naps.
don't tell us anything about your partner's signs or anything like that.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Okay, good to know. Um, are you the type of person, do you allow people to see you cry, or is that like really embarrassing and you keep it private?
That is, I used to totally hide it. It would be embarrassing and it's like, can't cry. But over the years, that's something I've like kind of worked through. And now I cry all the time and I'm not afraid to admit it.
Okay, what kind of things like make you tear up? Like Hallmark commercials? Like what are we talking about?
No, nothing really with humans, but if like dogs, I mean, if those like Sarah McLachlan like commercials, they'll get me. I got to change the channel. Um, I don't know. I mean, maybe like probably like I don't know, father daughter things will make me tear up, of course, sometimes. I guess sentimental things. I would never admit this, like probably 10 years ago, but yeah, I'm sensitive.
Okay. Um, is there anything that you could share with us about your about in anything related to health? This could be surgeries, car accidents, this could be um twisted my ankle once, this could be I'm prone to getting hives, anything.
I have never broken a bone, knock on wood. Um, I mean, I've had like my tonsils out, no like major surgeries. Um, I have hypothyroidism, underactive thyroid, as far as like a medical condition. Um, Otherwise, I think I think that's it.
Okay. Um, okay, so you're not prone to overheating, running hot, anything, hives, rashes, things like that.
Okay. Yes. Well, I used to be overheating and running hot. It's funny you mentioned that. I forgot. When I was, it was like, I don't know, like late teens, early 20s. I went through this bout of literally overheating in the shower and passing out. And like one time I did like bust my chin like on the side of the bathtub. Like, and then I started to notice, like, oh, well, I'm overheating, and then I would like faint.
How
Hmm.
hot are these showers?
I mean, I'm not that hot. It's crazy. Yeah,
Not to
it's
not to
so.
blame the victim.
I know. Thanks. But it only happened like a handful of times, and it's like I can't. I don't know why it happened. It hasn't ever really been able to be explained, but it hasn't happened since. Now I know, like, if I start to feel that like overheating feeling, like I've got to like open a window or like get some fresh air or something. But yeah, I totally actually forgot all about that until you said overheating. But like beaches and like warm weather stuff like that, I'm fine. It's just kind of like that steamy close quarters, I guess.
So do you like saunas but not steam rooms?
Yes, actually. Yeah. I like saunas and not steam rooms.
Dry heat. Okay, we're narrowing
Yes.
it down.
Yes. Absolutely a dry heat.
Hmm. Okay.
Interesting.
Are you when you do you drink like a lot of water or do you drink a normal amount or what's your thirst level?
I'm I'm pretty thirsty. I probably drink a lot of water, yeah.
Um, okay. So going back to clothing, so you're wearing pink today. Um, is like a pink t-shirt, or I assume maybe you just have like jeans on or something.
I have like some comfy soft black pants.
Okay. And what do you typically wear when you go out?
Um just like during the day, not like
Yeah.
going out because
Yeah.
I don't really do that. Um I am like these days, like luckily in Spain, like the attire's pretty casual and it's like these like kind of like wide leg elastic waist pants with like a t-shirt tucked in and sneakers. And like that's everybody wears that. So that's what I've been wearing. It's really comfortable.
Okay, so comfortable is
Comfortable, yes.
okay. Um, let's see. Do you have any interest in psychology at all?
I would say yes. maybe not formally like going to school for it, but I do um like trying to figure out like why people are the way that they are. And like I'm
Mhm.
really big into like like self development, personal development stuff. I mean human design is kind of like in that vein.
Okay. Um, do you what it do you so you mentioned roller coasters. Do you like doing a lot of risky things? Would you skydive or
I
things like
would
that?
skydive. That is something that I would like to do. Um, I mean, I feel like as I've gotten older, it's like I feel like less risky. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm like it's it's like I wouldn't say I'm a huge risk taker, but then I do these things like just quit my job and move to another country. But like I don't want to ride a motorcycle. Like that seems too risky
Mm,
to me.
because of maybe why?
It just seems like it just seems so scary. Like anything could happen and like you could just get mangled. Like it just seems like it's just too much.
That's interesting because
And like there's no protection.
you would
I
jump out of a
know. I would
plane.
yes. That is isn't that crazy?
Well,
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
you I like did you study the statistics and you know it's more likely to be in a motorcycle accident than to not have your parachute open up or for a roller coaster to malfunction?
I didn't study the statistics, but like now that like you saying that, I feel like it just feels like it'd be more common to like get in a motorcycle accident than people die from going skydiving. And like going skydiving would be like a one time thing.
Yeah, you
I
don't
mean, I
come
guess
back
I
from
could.
that.
I don't. I mean, I guess you could just ride a motorcycle one time, but I don't see myself like getting a motorcycle and riding that like on a regular basis. That just seems too risky for some reason.
Hmm, okay. Where specific, I'm jumping around quite a bit. You said southern coast of Spain. What city particularly? Or
Malaga.
is that spelled like Malaga?
Yep.
Okay.
Shout
Uh,
out to Malaga Tourism Department.
Yeah.
okay. Interesting. Um, sorry, I'm like kind of trying to gather my thoughts here. I'm a little conflicted.
Is there a
Um,
general area you're kind of like wanting to ask about? I love
um,
helping to develop the question and hone it.
yeah. Well, n first I was just like, what am I going to ask next? Would you consider yourself interested in, I mean, obviously you're interested in all the esoteric things. Are you interested in science and things like that?
Yes. I have an interest in science, but I'm not like going and reading about like super scientific things.
Okay.
I mean, if I there's like an article and like there's some cool like scientific thing happening, like I might read the article about it, but I'm not going to read some like scientific paper.
Hmm. Um, what kind of books do you read?
Um, I like to have a variety. So I like to have like a fiction or a mystery. Like ideally, I'll have like kind of like a nighttime book, which is maybe like which is the fiction or the mystery or something like that. And then I like kind of like more spiritual, kind of like uplifting, maybe like a personal development type book to read like in the mornings, like first thing. And then I also like to have like an audiobook option to just like listen instead of read with my eyes.
Okay. Um, sorry. I'm not moving very fast today. Um, I literally had my second question ready and I forgot it. Um, let's see. Um, are Scott, I need your help here. Like a little scattered. This is like the most scattered I've been. Um,
Well, what does a typical day look like for you now? We kind of went through your corporate job and what you would
Yeah.
do there and kind of your strengths and struggles there. Now that you're free to set your own schedule, you can do whatever you want. Is there a set routine? And B, what does that kind of look like?
I'm in kind of a weird, like, in between phase with like a routine. I haven't quite established it yet. Because like the past few weeks have just been, I mean, every day is an adventure being an immigrant in another country. Um, so like typically what the past few weeks have looked like is getting up, no alarm, um, making coffee, reading a book, or getting sunlight in my eyes. I'm big on like circadian rhythm stuff. Not looking at my phone, reading for a little bit, taking my dog out, going for our first walk, um, eventually finding something to eat, working on like my business stuff is usually kind of like early afternoon. But then that kind of, I don't know, that could even go on into the night. I kind of like go based on, I'm just kind of like my energy or how I feel. But um, doing the things like getting registered in the city and all of these mundane tasks that I have to do, like moving to another country. Been spending a lot of time on that too. But um, once I return to Spain, then I'll have like that's when I'm gonna have to really establish my routine with like going to the language school and like having like client readings, like working on the business and like living life. So I'm kind of in a weird like I haven't quite established my routine yet.
um, can I ask how was COVID for you and specifically like March 2020? Like what was going on in your life? How did that affect you?
Oh gosh. So I had moved to Boston for my super cool job. And at the time, I was actually thriving and loving my corporate life. Like, this was like the pinnacle of my corporate career. I was having a blast. I got relocated to Boston. It was this beautiful, like, tech office, like, that was just opened in the seaport. I had this like killer apartment in like downtown Boston that I would either walk or bike to work every day. I remember like walking to work and just kind of like, I'm like this really cool business lady walking to work in Boston. Like, I just really felt like this is awesome. I worked with, I mean, we were all just friends having a great time in this beautiful space. I mean, it was, one of those like tech offices where you can like drink beer and they've got cold brew on tap and it's just like so cool. And, we were doing like cool things at work. So having a really great time. So then when COVID happened, it's like that was like our social place and we were thriving, like we were all having a great time. And then that beautiful office like basically just started to deteriorate and like March 2020, I guess it was kind of up in the air because it still felt like, oh, we'll go back. I mean, I had already had plans like I was going to move to San Diego for my job to then open the next office. Like, I helped open the Boston office. Oh, well, I'm going to like this will be fine because I'm going to move to San Diego and open the next one, and then on and on and on. And then that never happened. But March 2020, it was just kind of like, oh no, like this like social life that I'd created and was having a blast and also getting paid to do it. It was like, I don't know, kind of up in the air. But there was also something nice with being able to work at home because I had a job where I had to go in and be face to face every day. There was no working at home. So it was kind of nice to do that, but it was kind of like, it was a real bummer ultimately.
Okay, so it kind of hit you like it kind of hit a lot of people. Like it wasn't personally like uh some people had a lot of tragedy or it like really impacted them or their life specifically, other than just, yeah, work changing and
yeah, thankfully, I mean, I didn't get COVID until a couple of years later, and thankfully, no one I was close to was really impacted. So I was fortunate in that respect for sure.
But it does sound like it was a huge shift because the way that you talk about corporate America now,
I know.
so to imagine that you were like loving it at that point in
Yes,
your life, and then
yes,
at some point over the last few years, your
it just
relationship
went.
to corporate America just
Yeah,
completely
it
switched.
tanked,
And that, do you
totally
think that
tanked.
might have been like the moment that it started to go bad?
Probably so because I mean, people just got further and further apart from like having those human relationships. I mean, we part of what was so fun is because we were in the office every day, and on Friday nights we would stay at the office till like 10 o'clock, just hanging out, just hanging out. It's ridiculous. Like I can't believe I even did that. But then you're just on a screen all day, and like you over time, you just like start to kind of lack empathy, and nothing feels real, and like there aren't these relationships anymore, and everything just kind of I don't know, just kind of went downhill.
Would you consider yourself someone who has a lot of like a lot of fantasies and dreams and likes to space out?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
this inner world that I've got going on here, there's always something going on. Yes.
Can you shine a light on just a little aspect to give us a taste of it?
I mean, what I've done, like quitting the job, like I basically, if you think of like a Looney Tunes cartoon, like when they're out in the desert and there's like the TNT, it's like just taking that to my life. Is what I did a few years ago. And those were all like these schemes and dreams that I had going on.
So the internal stuff is planning. It's planning for something that you might do.
It is like dreaming though. I mean, it's like it's less like, okay, I've got this idea, I'm going to execute this plan. It's like it starts as just kind of like totally dreaming. Like I had this big dream of moving to Spain when I retired, and like it was just like a dream, and I can just like imagine it and like what that's going to feel like and look like. And then I start to like realize like why don't I just do that now? Like try to make these things come true now. Like why wait? But it's always starting as like some fantasy or like some dream or something.
Hmm. Okay.
I wouldn't say fantasy, like things that are like, I don't like aliens. Well, aliens are, I was going to say something that's,
Watch yourself.
I know, like, why would I say that? Because I totally know that they're real. I don't know. Because then I try to say, like, well, maybe something that's like totally far fetched and not
Like
possible.
Bigfoot.
But
Hey,
yeah, but then who knows what's real and what's not? So I'm not even going to try to define my level of fantasy.
what kind of music do you listen to? Sorry to just take such a sharp turn.
I like really all kinds except for country music. Um, I mean, I will listen to like stuff like Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, Chappell Roan, like that
But
kind of poppy stuff.
not the early Taylor when she was country.
I let a couple of them slide in. But overall, like this new country, like the Yellowstone soundtrack, that stuff I can't do. Um, but then I also like living in San Diego, there's a lot of like cool San Diego rock bands that I'm into. I like Spanish music. Yeah, really, I can listen to anything except country music.
Do you like um to like listen to relaxing music a lot, or do you like to feel like revved up?
I would lean towards like relaxing. Like sometimes I'll put on like some sort of like Zen soundtrack or something, like playlist. But like if it's really like loud and abrasive, I have to be in the mood for that. Like that is typically too much. I'm not really trying to get amped up unless it's like fun, like pop music.
Okay. All right. I'm good.
Sarah is feeling good. All right.
Woo-hoo!
As good as I'm
Um,
gonna get.
well, guest Sarah, this is where we're going to put you in the waiting room, and co-host Sarah and I are going to confer a little bit. and make our choices, and then we'll bring you back in and see if we're right.
Cool. Good luck.
Sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. We'll see you back in a bit. Sarah.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear you say, yes, I've got it.
Well, there was a few things that were, I just had to square off, like I just wanted to, we're really trying to get to know this person. And sometimes I feel like I think I know what they're saying, or I think I understand them or see them clearly. And sometimes I realize I didn't see them clearly. So I'm just trying to make sure I really get I'm trying to make sure I'm not making any judgments, that I'm taking kind of like what they're saying. And yeah, I don't know. I was feeling a little, some of her answers were not what I expected, but yeah.
As with most of them, I could make a case for either chart, but I feel pulled in one direction.
Yeah.
I'm curious. We've answered the same, I think, the last 4 to 5 weeks. We've been up and down together on this roller coaster.
Yes, we have.
I think, and I might be wrong, I think we might be on different pages this time, because sometimes I'm trying to guess which direction you're going based on your questioning.
Well, I went back and forth.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. But I was kind of, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Sarah has a fancy card that she's going to use to show her answer. I have a Post-it note that you can barely read. And hopefully next time I'll have some of Sarah's fancy cards, which you could get.
Where can you get them? Scott?
Heck if I know. I don't know the website address. There should be a link. There should be a link to them on our website, on AstroDetectives Pod.
Yes, I know. I'll add it. I've made some beautiful flashcards, astrology. If you're interested in like learning astrology, on one side it has a pretty graphic of the zodiac sign, and then on the back all the keywords and data on it. So I'm selling those on my Etsy site, Hartshorn Astrology, and it's only $4.44. Okay.
And granted, you have to print it and laminate it, but
you don't have to laminate it.
You don't have to laminate it unless you're messy like me.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have to keep reprinting it every time I spill something on my cards.
We have Aries and Virgo.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And what is it going to be? Everybody at home, you don't have to choose the way that we choose, but we're going to see which way Sarah and I are leaning. You ready to decide on 4?
On 4?
Well, we say 1, 2, 3, and then we say it. So I feel like that's on 4, even though people say on 3.
All right.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Aries.
Virgo.
Yeah, right. She was saying stuff that was like, I could see the Virgo case. So and I felt like you were leaning there because towards the end you were kind of asking some more, I thought, Aries questions, and she was kind of not giving you the full Aries answer. But I was already convinced. I
was trying to see, is this is this what Aries with a Capricorn rising looks like?
Interesting.
And so that's why I was really struggling a little bit. Or is this like a Virgo with a watery moon and a Scorpio? I will say she doesn't necessarily look like the typical Scorpio rising.
You got that Scorpio stinger that can surprise you out of nowhere.
She's blonde and she was wearing pink, so I was like a little thrown.
That'd be a sneaky Scorpio.
Yeah. So, but I think there's some other things that may explain that.
All right. Well, it'll be an interesting debrief either way. So everybody make your choices and we'll find out who's right after this. Hey listeners, we're not just a podcast that tests astrology, we're an independent detective agency. That means we rely on you to help us keep the show running.
Exactly. By joining Astro Detectives on Patreon, you can support our mission to finally prove astrology is real.
Or, completely debunk it.
Here we go again.
One thing we can agree on, Astro Detectives is the only place you'll find astrologers and skeptics working together like a buddy cop movie you didn't know you needed.
And trust me, detective work takes time. Gathering evidence, late night stakeouts, solving cases, especially when Mercury's retrograde.
Okay, you can't blame Mercury.
The first step is easy and free. Just follow Astro Detectives on Patreon to get access to our debrief episodes where the conversation continues after each case ends. We break down what went right and what went wrong.
And if you want to fast track your training, become a rookie detective for only $3 a month. You'll unlock exclusive bonus episodes, plus early releases and the top secret case files sent straight to your inbox.
Or for just $1 a month, we'll make you an Astro intern. No compensation per se, but hey, you'll gain valuable detective experience and that warm fuzzy feeling knowing you're helping us keep the lights on.
So if you like what we're doing and want to support us, head over to patreon.com/AstroDetectives and join the investigation today. Welcome back, everybody. We're joined again with guest Sarah because co-host Sarah and co-host Scott are on different pages. We chose different charts, which makes it extra fun because that means the score is going to change. Sarah and I have been neck and neck the last 4 or 5 weeks. We've been winning and losing, but always winning and losing together. Today, will be either Sarah will pull away from me even more, or I'm going to gain a little bit of ground on her. But guess
I
Sarah.
did my best.
Yeah, hey, that's all we ask. I'm always doing my very best too, with my limited knowledge. Guest Sarah, we were looking today at an Aries and a Virgo. Hopefully you are one of those two.
I am.
Those are the two charts we were choosing from. I will be asking based on my guess, so if I get it wrong, Sarah will be thrilled. Sarah, are you an Aries?
I am not.
Oh,
Yes!
no!
But I'm flattered that you would think so.
There were so many answers that could go either way. It was interesting, but I did feel like you were doing some Virgo talk towards the end. But we'll get into all the details on how I missed it, how Sarah got it right. Guest Sarah, is there anything you would like to tell our audience to check out?
Sure. You can please find me on Instagram at I am Manifesting Sunshine or my website, manifestingsunshine.com. I do human design readings, really focused on the socially curious, ambitious corporate women that are, maybe looking for some guidance out there.
Aren't we all looking for a little guidance in this crazy world? Well, that's it, everyone. Let us know what you thought by commenting on whatever platform you follow us on. Links to our accounts are in the show notes. As always, thanks to Mike, our IT guy, and his random chartifier thingy. If you like the show and want to support it, you can visit patreon.com/AstroDetectives, where this conversation continues on the free Patreon-only debrief. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform or YouTube so you don't miss the next episode. Rate and review and tell your friends. And until next time, this case is closed.